Drivers parked side by side. Did your car door hit her car? It touched it. I would have been very annoyed. Then they went toe to toe. She proceeded to put her hand on my throat to choke me. She reached out and just started putting her hands on my neck. You'll see in the video if it hasn't been altered. And after the police viewed this, they took you into custody. Yes, ma'am. Judge Judy, you are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Lori Hansen is suing Georgette Davenport for medical bills and property damage due to an assault. Order. All rise. That's case number 95 on the calendar. The matter of Hansen versus Davenport. Thank you. You're welcome. Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat. You were parked in a parking lot and Miss Hansen pulled in her car into the parking lot and an altercation ensued between the two of you. It is your claim that the defendant assaulted you during the course of that altercation. Fortunately, we have, I see, the screen up so that there must have been surveillance. Yes. Am I correct that you were sitting in your car when she pulled up? Yes. And a reading of the complaint and answer suggests that she pulled up close to your car. Correct? And when she got out of her car door hit your car? Yes. How many times? Once? Initially, when she first opened the door. And then once she proceeded to get out of the car door is rubbing on my car now because she's squeezing to get out. And once she got out, that's when I proceeded to get out. And I noticed that, okay, you got out of the car to assess whatever damage there was. And when I noticed that the dent wasn't that bad, it was just like a smudge. So I asked her, okay, what did you say? Why didn't you back your car up, reverse, and move a little to the right? Because there was plenty of more room. Is that what you said to her? I want you to tell me. I mean, I would have been very annoyed. Yeah, if somebody banged into my car when they weren't paying attention to what they were doing, and just being selfish by pulling up too close to your car and trying to get out of the car, you understand. Yes, ma'am. Good. So I wouldn't have said, you really could have moved a little over to the left. It's a good thing it wasn't my husband. It would have been a lot worse. Right. But it might have started out with something like, what are you, an idiot? Why didn't you pull closer to the other side? What are you trying to squeeze out of this 6-inch space for? So now I want you to tell me what you said to her when you walked out. Once I initially noticed that it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. It still was annoying that you still tried to squeeze out. So I asked, why didn't you just reverse the car and move a little to the right? Is that what you said? That's exactly what I said. Good. And what did she say to you? Instantly. The response was, you don't see the line indicating since she wasn't over the line. Oh, that she wasn't over the line. She was just close to it. But this much. No, I got it. I've been there. I live in Florida. I got the whole drill. So, I told her, you don't have to talk to me like that. I asked you a simple question and she started to proceed to walk up to me and told me, don't talk to me. Her fingers were this close to my face. I kindly pushed her hand down and told her, you need to back up. You don't know me like that. You need to calm down. We exchanged a few words. I tried to walk past her. She proceeded to put her hand on my throat to choke me. And that's when I just had to let loose. Okay. And that video is going to show me what happened. Yes. And I have that video right here. Good. Now I'm going to start with Miss Hansen. Yes, ma'am. So, did you park too close to her car? It was a very tight space. Did you park too close to her car? No. Okay. When you got out of your car, did your car door hit her car? It touched it. Then that was wrong, that it was too close to her car. Now, a small person may have been able to get out, but you're not a small person. Correct. So, when you got out of the car and opened the door, it hit her property. Yes, ma'am. That was the wrong thing to happen. Yes, ma'am. You did it anyway. Now, you got out and she got out of her car. I said to you, don't you know how to park a car? Okay. And you said to her, I turned to her and I said, listen. And I started to walk away towards the back of the cars because it was clear that she was still getting out of her car and running towards me and I just wanted to get away. So, I walked behind my car and she was continuing to insult me because of my weight. And at that point, I made a motion with my hand, and walked away. And then she got my attention and I did a 180 and turned back towards her. And I didn't want to deal with her. So I was trying to get away. And then she reached out and just started putting her hands on my neck. And she was strangling me. And you'll see in the video, if it hasn't been altered, that I was doing this. I'd like to see the video because I just froze. Bird, I'm going to get down off the bench and I want you to start that over again. I have photos of my bruises and I also was knocked twice in the face to the ground on my flat on my back. Listen, I have eyes. Yes, ma'am, you do. We may have to play this a couple of times. Okay, which car is the... I'm the white car. Okay, start that again. Go back. I want to see that again. Well, what I see is the person in white. That's you, right? Yes, ma'am. Hit her first. No, ma'am. She actually was strangling me. That's not what I see. Sorry. I don't see her strangling you on the side. I don't see her strangling you on the side. Video. I mean, that is the angle of the camera that doesn't show it. But I can tell you that her fingers are long and slim and very soft and cold. Because they were around my neck. It's not what I saw. I understand that. I understand. But I know what I experienced. I know what you experienced. And the police also viewed this. Is that correct? I believe so. Yes. And after the police viewed this, they took you into custody. Yes, ma'am. Not her. Yes, ma'am. Listen, do we have anything else? I have a police report. I'd like to see it. I have the police report. I have medical records. I'm not interested in your medical records. We're not there. What's the difference if there are medical records? If you have medical records, if it was your fault. She broke my phone. She knocked it out of my hands. Just a second. We'll get to the phone in a second. Because that's maybe the only thing. She knocked it out of my hands. I don't care. Well, I did. Listen to me. You hit her first. No, ma'am, I did not. Well, that's what that shows. And that's why the police arrested you. I respectfully disagree. You can respectfully disagree all you like. That's why the police arrested you. And that's what I saw. Hansen was found to be the aggressor by several witnesses and Davenport. And that... Now, why did you take her phone? She was walking up to me, telling me I need to be still. She wants pictures of me. I didn't give anyone permission to take pictures of me. I asked her to stop. She kept running up on me after the altercation. So, feelings are already, all over the place. She would not stop walking up to me in my space. So I took the phone out of her hand. Okay, you can't do that. Well, I ended up giving it back while I was on the phone making my... Well, you didn't give it back. No. Well, I put it on the hood of the car. On the hood of what car? On the hood of her car? Because after she started chasing me around the parking lot while I was on the phone with the police, they told me, give her phone back. You cannot do that. So I put it on the hood of her car. Ma'am, the battery and the back of the phone were in separate places all over the parking lot. So I did have to hobble over and grab these different parts to put them back together. I also should point out, don't point out anything. I'm reading the police report. I use a cane most of the time. She didn't need that cane when she was attacking me. You weren't using a cane there. Exactly. You're correct. There are times when I do not use it. I'm not interested. Actually, I can appreciate that. But I'm not interested. And I told you once before. I'm reading the police report. Okay, here's my copy, if you'd like it. Of what? My copy of the police report. I'd like to see your copy of the police report. Please. Thank you. I also have the emergency room report. I want to know why. And photographs. These statements of the witnesses are deleted on both. Actually, because the police officer said based upon the statements of the two witnesses and the security tape, they arrested you. It's just unusual to me that they would delete the witnesses' statements. When I had picked it up, they said that if it's not my own statement, they can't show anyone else's. Last thing the police officer said was other than the witnesses' statements. Hansen stated she did not approach Davenport and that Davenport went to her. When I clarified with her in the video, it looks like she approached Davenport. She changed her story and was already walking to that way and didn't want to walk around. I placed Hansen under arrest and placed her in the wheel of the car. Your case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you. Thank you. Why is there an excuse for you to step out? I was actually really embarrassed. I was upset that I had to fight an elderly lady. Well, I saw that there was a confrontation. Obviously, I was upset that she attacked me for no reason. I didn't see her throw the first punch. I'm happy it's over. They said there were several witnesses, because I honestly don't understand why this lady is still pushing the issue. That isn't what I saw when she caused all this mayhem. And now, the next case? All parties in the matter of Massey Vaithier. Carter, step forward. Jean Massey is suing her former landlord, Teresa Carter, for the return of rent and for filing false criminal charges. How did you know the defendant? She worked at a daycare that my children attend. Her daughter owns the daycare. Okay, so she worked for her daughter. Yes. You were being evicted from your last residence or had to relocate very quickly? Ms. Carter agreed to let you and your children. You have 3 children. Yes. Move into her home. She called me and offered me to move in. Yes, ma'am. And that you would pay rent Yes, ma'am. When did you move into the house? I placed my belongings in her garage on February 27th. I had 2 dressers and a large TV that had actually been taken upstairs to the rooms. But the rest of my stuff was placed in the garage. So some stuff was already in the room. How many rooms were you renting? 2. And what was the rent? The initial offer was for $500, but shortly after, it was $600, and that wasn't a far jump. So I agreed. When did you give her the $600? I gave her $694 the day before, February 26th, and that's when she had given me the keys. When did you physically go into the house? February 27th. Okay, this is what happened. Judge Judy continues in a moment. Well, I called and told her that I was just going to come get my stuff. And your money? Yes, and my money. And she informed me that I was not getting my money back. Then you called the police. She told me to call the police. Real cases. Real people. Judge Judy. Jean Massey says former landlord Teresa Carter owes for the return of rent and for filing false criminal charges. Teresa is countersuing for vandalism to her garage door. Now, you got there. You're all settled in. She tells you can't stay. You have to leave. Not settled. No. The next day. No. February 27th. I got my stuff in. As I said, she was charging me $600. I had already had 2 money orders, which equaled out to be $694 because I was leaving the old place. So instead of giving that money to the prior landlord, I gave it to Miss Carter. So that's why it was $94 over. Just a second. How much money did you receive from Miss Massey? $694. Okay, go. So as I'm getting things into the garage, she calls me upstairs. In my mind, I'm thinking maybe, don't tell me what you're thinking. She called you upstairs. She calls me upstairs. You can't stay here. And so she decided that I should have been paying half of your utilities and a security deposit. So I said, well, Miss Carter, let me drop this truck off. I'll work something out. Because at this point, Judge, I had nowhere else to go. Okay, so I was going to really try to, come up with an extra couple of $100 a month. Whatever. So I left to take the truck back. I had to go to the old place that I was living in. I had to clean that up so it wouldn't be any mess in there. Had to get my kids situated. So from the time I left, maybe about an hour later, 3 or 4 phone calls kept coming to my phone. Well, I'll let you stay for a month because you already paid. I said to Miss Carter, that's not going to work because I need to save up money and time to find a new place. You already have my money. So, well, I'll call you back. I'll work something out. So then she called me back and she said, well, we'll just do a month to month. So she called you back and she said, we'll do a month to month? Yes. And you said, no, that's not going to work. What were you thinking that you would do? What do you mean? Judge, well, if she said, you're here already, you can stay for the month because you've already paid your rent. Well, I just wanted her to understand that I needed some time to save up some more money. Well, just a second. I don't understand what that means. Does that mean that when you moved into her house and you gave her the $694 for rent for the month, you didn't intend to pay her any more money? No, I was going to pay her some more money once the new month occurred. Okay, so what you didn't? So it would have been March. So what you didn't want to pay her was a deposit. No, I had no problem with the deposit. But what I had an issue with because she already changed her mind once. It can't be a deposit and rent. Either the $694 was security deposit or the $694 was rent. What was it? In your mind, it was rent. It was rent. And what was it in your mind? It was rent. Ma'am, I did not even charge her a deposit. Oh, great. Terrific. And what was the last phone call you had with her or contact on the 27th? So then she said, well, we going to work something out. We'll see how it goes. It kept going back and forth between the month and the month. The month, I decided at that point, I'm just not going to go ahead with it. It was trouble already. Okay, got it. And at some point, the police were called. Well, I called and told her that I was just going to come get my stuff and your money, yes, and my money, and that I'll go get a hotel. She informed me that I was not getting my money back. Right. Then you called the police. She told me to call the police. Great. Judge Judy continues in a moment. You weren't arrested as a result of this. No, I'm on felony. I would have went to jail. I'm on probation. What I'm asking you is, you weren't arrested as a result of this. Tell me what happened as a result of her filing this warrant application. Real cases, real people, real people. Judge Judy. Jean Massey says, former landlord Teresa Carter owes for the return of rent and for filing false criminal charges. Teresa is countersuing for vandalism to her garage door. Now, the police arrived. And this was on the 27th. Yes. And I've read the complaint clearly. And I've read your answer. Yes, ma'am. The complaint states that in front of a police officer, Miss Carter, you signed a note that you would return her rent. I did. Ma'am, good. I'd like to see that note. And you never did. In fact, move in and stay there. No. You have to give her her money back. Okay, ma'am. $694. Yes, ma'am. Now, that's where we're at. $694. I'm not interested in the fact that you felt intimidated. You had the police there. I have a counterclaim. Ma'am, you have... Just a second. Okay, she's not finished with her claim. Okay, she says that you took out a criminal warrant, and she's suing punitive damages for filing a false criminal warrant against her. So, that's the rent. Now, let me see the allegations in the criminal warrant. Please. She decided to do this on March 1st. Yes, ma'am. You weren't arrested as a result of this. No, I'm on felony. I would have went to jail. I'm on probation. I don't trust justice. What I'm asking you is, you weren't arrested as a result of this. Tell me what happened as a result of her filing this warrant application and everything. It was dismissed. She didn't even show up. Can I see the dismissal? Please. It was originally scheduled for April 7th. And, in Georgia, they allow you to speak with the mediator first. Because once you sit in front of a judge, that's the finalization of it. So, the mediator advised, don't tell me what happened. It was rescheduled to May 26th because she had insufficient evidence. 5/26, May 26th. She didn't even show up. Case was thrown out. It is clear that this was dismissed. It was dismissed. Judge, Your Honor, because I had a doctor's appointment. I went down and asked the judge if I could reschedule this because I had a doctor's appointment. I wouldn't make it. And they dismissed it so that I could file a silver suit. And I felt I had better plans because of getting my money from my garage store that she had towed up. Yeah. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $694. Your counterclaim for a broken garage door is dismissed. We're done. Why does Judge Judy need to step out? Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy, when cousin runs to cousin, family values go out the window. She's a liar. She's a thief. Do you take any medication? No, I don't. Try to control yourself. Next Judge Judy. No, she never moved in. She just had beer cans all on the side. She kept changing the story. Like, it went from, she had got evicted from her other apartment. You can't move in. I had sent her to an attorney to help her. So a little bit, I knew it was going to be. There was a foreshadow of things to come. So she wouldn't go back to jail. I done beat on the garage door. She towed my garage door up. She lied. I tried to help her. No reports. No arrests. No nothing. Just know from now on not to help her. I tried to help her and the children. Nah, I would have went to jail. They didn't have a place to go. I know not to help her. Help nobody anymore. I'm happy. I didn't get everything I was sold for, but I got my money back. Don't help them. Let them be outside. Do whatever they got to do.